Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing my year of empties video, and this is a video that I am so excited about, and I know from previous years of doing this, you're probably pretty excited about it as well. So I hope that you are in it for a long haul video. Just grab a drink, grab a snack. Let's walk through all of the empties that I had in the year of 2023 in my beauty categories. So all the skincare, all the makeup, all the bath products, all the body products, all those things. Let's walk through it. I'm so excited about it, and I hope that you are too, and that you'll want to stick around for the video. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high and colorful beauty and self-care. I also work in the beauty industry as a field leader for Ulta Beauty. I get a lot of education in my position. I like to bring you that education here, but ultimately I'm just out here talking about makeup because I like to talk about makeup. It brings solace to my soul and soothes my spirit, and I hope that you find that this channel does the same thing for you, and you'll want to subscribe before you go. And with that said, let's just walk into some makeup empties for 2023. All right, here we are. We have found ourselves in a brand new year, 2024. I'm so excited. I have determined that this is going to be my year of all the things. Listen, last year was super hard. And that's also reflected in my empties. Like, I feel like I didn't have as much in empties as I did in years previous, or like as many dollars in empties as I did year previous, or products. Really, like when I look at how many mascaras I used on average year over year, I do think that I have used up more than what I have here. But I'm really excited about it nonetheless. I moved halfway through the year, so May, June, and July for me are kind of a blur because I was packing up a house and then moving into a new house and then unpacking a house and starting, you know, not a new position, but a promoted position, and had more stores underneath me. And like, it was just a blur. Like from May to July, it was just a blur. And honestly, my job has kept me really, really busy this year. And even this holiday season kind of snuck up on me. Like, I was still buying Christmas presents. I didn't even start buying presents for my children until like the 24th of December. And that's only because I had no choice at that point in time. So I'm really excited to walk through the products that I have for you. And when I set up the visuals that I have for this, I just went down the list of the things as they came, you know, down the list of the pictures that I took, and kind of tried to partner things with like things, but some of these might not make any sense, let's be honest. So my aforementioned move put a little bit of a damper onto this because I wasn't going to move garbage with me. So I don't have any of those products to show you except for in picture form. I did take a picture of all the things that were in my beauty empties prior to that point. I do think that there was probably a miss in some of the pictures that I took. Like, either I deleted them, I don't know where they went, but we're just going off of what I have here, what I have in my spreadsheet. There were a couple of products that I didn't get pictures of, and I do have my bin of empties over there from the empties that I've accumulated since living in this house, but I know that there were some things missing because they're on one list, but there's no picture. They're on one list, but they're not in the bin, whatever the case may be. So I tried to be as accurate as possible, but note that there might be some inconsistencies with, you know, actuals versus this. But I'm really excited about the empties that I have for this year. One thing that I did learn through this process is that for the year 2024, I will be putting everything that I empty that goes into my year of empties video into my tracker for empties for the year, because I spent a whole lot of time looking up the price points for a lot of the items because they weren't makeup empties, and therefore I didn't put them into my tracker, and that was silly. I spent far too much time looking for price points for a lot of like the skincare and the lashes and all the things. So I will future forward 2024. My promise to myself, my promise to you guys is to make sure that I am entering all those things into the tracker as I empty them. So I do have 2 separate videos on my channel per month that talk about empties. One is my makeup rehab series. That is where you're going to see everything that I bring into my collection as it pertains to makeup. So what goes into my makeup inventory and all of the empties that I have in makeup. So all the things that I'm taking out of my makeup inventory in terms of makeup products. And then I also have a beauty empties series on my channel that you might not actually see monthly. I typically don't do those until I have like accumulated quite a bit of beauty category empties, but these are going to be body care, fragrance, skincare, those kind of things. So everything then comes together in this 1 year of empties video, which I have now done, I think, for 4 years, I think. And we've had some really big numbers, and I think that you'll see that there are some really big numbers this year too. So with that all being said, let's get started. I'm gonna, well, I'm scooched over to the side so that I can put my, my graphics up in here, and I'm gonna handle this as the graphic is laid out so that we're not confused at the end of the day, or I'm not confused at the end of the day. But then we'll wrap it up at the end and I'll show you like my inventory spreadsheets and all those things, unless I can get those graphics in here as well. So my first graphic shows the lashes, anything pertaining to lash, or at least that's where I was going with this graphic. In it, you will see the 2 Kiss Impress Press on Lash containers. I did finish 2 of those. I didn't even start using these until we got them in gratis at Field Leadership Conference in April. So, and even then I held on to them for a while because I'm just not a lash girl, but my boss, she was traveling with me and she was searching the store for another container of them, and she talked to me about them, and so I decided to break them out, and this would have been like June, July timeframe. Ever since then have been using these lashes, not every day, but regularly, like when I decide I don't want to put mascara on, or when I think I need to look special and my lashes need to look special, I will use these lashes. So there is 1 full-size pack in there, and the full-size packs, the way you can tell the difference is the full-size packs come with actually an applicator. That is the one that I got in gratis, but that is a $16.99 product. And then there is 1 refill pack that I bought for myself. I didn't know that those were curly when I bought them, but the refill packs aren't much less expensive than the full-size packs. These are really phenomenal little clusters of eyelashes, because they're just clusters of eyelashes, and you stick them up underneath your eyelash and pinch it together, and it's like a press-on nail for your lashes. They're really cool. I did have a subscriber ask me to do a video on these lashes, and I do have that in queue. These are remarkable lashes. So for those of you who don't love putting on lashes because you struggle, I also struggle. I feel your pain. I use these. I love them. They're so amazing. I only had 1 lash serum, and that's the Babe Lash Essential Serum. Those are not as expensive as the Grande Lash serums, and they also don't work as well as the Grande Lash serums, in my humble opinion. And then I had 11 mascaras that I went through. So in years past, I've went through like 18 or 19 mascaras, but because of the lashes and because of the move, I just think I went through less. I do have 10 full-size mascaras and 1 mini mascara, and I am a person who really loves a high-end mascara. I know that that's ridiculous because a mascara is a mascara, but that's not the case. And most of the time with the mascaras on the drugstore side, I have huge eye irritation from them for whatever reason. I don't know if it's a chemical that they're putting into it or a fragrance they're putting into it. The same can be said for the Lashy Dole that you see there. There's only one of those. There's only one of everything except for the Bad Gal, which happens to be one of my favorite mascaras, if not my favorite mascara. That one is in blue. I love it so much. And I do purchase those ones. The Lashy Dole was gratis for me, and it is super perfumed, and that's the second one that I've had where the component has completely fallen apart. And even though it's a great mascara and I really do like it, I would never purchase it on my own. So of the mascaras that you're looking at, I did purchase the Bad Gal Bang Blue. Those don't come to me in gratis. I also purchased the Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water. That is the one mini that I have in this section. And I also purchased the Telescopic Lift. The rest of them were gratis to me. I have the MAC Lash Dry Shampoo, and if you guys have been around my channel, you know how I feel about that. And if you are wearing your mascara long enough to need a dry shampoo for your lashes, you have a big problem, because you should not be doing that. The one next to it is Milani Highly Rated. I hated that mascara. It's supposed to be a 2B mascara. It's way too wet to be a 2B mascara. It gets everywhere. It got everywhere. Andrea Mattiliano, I said this in a video not that long ago actually, uses it on her lower lash line, and I am kind of astounded by that and perplexed, because I don't understand how such a wet tubing formula, when you use them on your upper lashes and it gets all over the place, would do well on your lower lash line. Thought about purchasing another one for Science, but I won't be doing that. That is not a great mascara. As well as the Telescopic Lift, which you guys saw me use in a get ready with me using drugstore makeup, all drugstore makeup. I had purchased that. It's a purple mascara. I was super excited about it being purple. It actually did absolutely nothing for my lashes. The one next to that, and I know I skipped over one, I'll come back to it. The one next to that is the Kat Von D Go Big or Go Home. I don't remember how I feel about this one, to be honest. I must have used it since living here, because that is the picture that it's on, is on my stool. I don't remember if I think it's a great mascara or no. So because it's not memorable for me, I probably would never repurchase it. The silver one in the secondary picture is the Pure On Point. I did not like that one. Bad Gal Bang. The next one is Urban Decay Perversion. I did like that mascara. I would probably repurchase that one. And then the Cali Ray Go Big or Go Home. When I get to a point where I need to purchase mascaras, if that one is still available, I would purchase that, the Bad Gal Bang Blue, and then the last one that I kind of skipped over, which is the Benefit Fan Fest. I am a person who would continue to buy or seek out Bad Gal Bang as my favorite mascara from Benefit. It gives me length and makes my lashes separate, doesn't create a whole lot of like goopiness. So that was doing everything I needed it to. FanFest is my new favorite. That FanFest might as well be a waterproof mascara without being a waterproof mascara, and easier to take off than a waterproof mascara, but I'm wearing it today. I love this mascara. It's pretty much the only mascara that I feel like I need, and that might be also why there's less mascaras. I've been using FanFest since like September-ish when it came out. And it's one of the only mascaras that I have had in my collection that I didn't feel like I had to double up on. We'll go over the total cost of all the categories at the end of the video. The next graphic I have is like base. For base, I have like foundations, face primers, and concealers in here. So you can see that I went through 11 face primers. 6 of them are full size, 4 of them are mini or deluxe size, and then 1 sample size face primer. So the 2 Touch and Soul, 1 in each picture, I got from my mother. Those were products that she got in a box of charms. She didn't love it, so she gave it to me. Really nice primers. They feel really good on the skin. They're, I think, silicone based. They feel real slippy. On the in the bottom picture, the one right next to that is an Alginist Reveal. I did purchase that at like a TJ Maxx. I think it's boasted as a skincare product, but I did use it as a primer, as it gave me a lot of really beautiful like glow underneath like mattifying foundations. The next 4 in the bottom picture were all gratis to me. So the Tula filter primer, I love that. I would repurchase that. I would also repurchase the Sela Color Correct primer, which is the like pump in there with the like rose gold top. I loved that primer. I thought it was really nice. I was really sad that I only had the deluxe travel size. The other 2, the Benefit Professional Light and the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen and Primer, I don't love either one of those. I've never been a fan of Benefit primers, and the Unseen Sunscreen made me feel so gross and greasy, so I started using that all over my body instead of just on my face. I could not stand that. In the top picture, my Holy Grail primer is that Bobbi Brown up there. Like that Bobbi Brown face base is a full size. It took me 2 years to get through that because I was hoarding it because I didn't want it to go anywhere. But I love that primer, and it will be one that I repurchase in the future. I had a deluxe travel size of the Farsali Skin Tune Blur, a really beautiful primer. I didn't mind that one, but I don't feel like it did anything for makeup longevity. It obviously just gave your skin like this airbrushed quality to it, which was gorgeous. I also had that one up top of that, which is a Dermalogica one. It is called the Dermalogica Skin Perfect Primer. It was also travel size. It was beautiful. I love that primer, and I like Dermalogica as a brand. The Little Valentino one is one that I got as a point perk from Sephora, and I would repurchase that and did repurchase that. So loved getting that as a point perk because it showcased a new primer that I love that gives your skin kind of the same thought process as that Alginist Reveal product, but for the purposes of a primer and not for the purposes of a skincare item. I only had one concealer that I went through, the Oma Beauty Stay Woke concealer. This isn't, I mean, I don't think I have been through more than one concealer in a year. This is pretty typical of me, even though I have a ton of concealers in my collection, which my inventory will be coming. You guys will see it. Did like that one initially, but I didn't like it at all. The more and more I got familiar with it, the more and more I got to use it. It was a thin inconsistency, but it seeped into, you know, all the little fine lines that you have on your under eyes, and it didn't do much for me in that way. It did have a really nice pigmentation for color coverage though. Then we have four foundations, and I was really proud of this. I had a full-size Zoeva that was almost full when I put it into this year's like intentions to pan, and then I had also a full-size Smashbox Halo, which used to be up until the Fenty Eavesdrops came out. This was my favorite like glowy skin tint. Really beautiful. I liked to put it on with a brush, a sponge, my fingers. It worked well in any case, and it just didn't have a whole lot of coverage, but I also don't really love full coverage. So the fact that I got through that Zoeva, I'm really proud of. But that was more of a natural finish foundation, which I don't mind if it's fuller coverage. There's 2 Purely's BB creams in there. Those are all minis. One is radiant and one is illuminating, and I loved the radiant one. I would probably repurchase that in a full size. The next graphic I have here is fragrance, I guess, and hand soaps. Hand soaps is big for me. Like, I can only use a certain kind of hand soap, and you guys can see that 90% of what you're looking at are the Bath and Body Works foaming hand soaps. I buy these in bulk when they have the semi-annual sale. I will usually buy like 20 at a time, so it gets me through until the next semi-annual sale. What I am shocked about is that I don't have very much on here. Even the one down in the lower pictures, I didn't have enough room to store all of the hand soaps that I went through year over year over year. So I started writing on like one, like +1 blah blah blah, or +2 blah blah blah, whatever it was that I also had finished but couldn't store. So you'll see that that one has writing on it, and it says +1 of, whatever, and +1 of another. So there were actually 2 additional ones to that I took into account when that picture was taken. So you will see the count for 7 Bath & Body hand soaps. I will always purchase these hand soaps. They're the only hand soaps that when my hands get super dry, do not exacerbate the dryness in my hands and continue to cause cracking and bleeding in my hand. I love the Bath & Body Works hand soaps. I don't know what it is about them. The fragrance is different. I don't know, but I love them, and I will continue to repurchase them. I don't know about those particular scents, and to be honest, I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't walk through every single one of them with you. But I do know that that last hand soap in there, that little snowman one, was one that happened to be in my daughter's room when we moved. It was boxed in with her stuff, and therefore it was the only soap that we could find when we first moved into this house. So it was the hand soap that we had in our powder room until I could find the other soaps for the rest of the bathrooms. So I only went through 7 Bath & Body hand soaps, and then that one holiday budget hand soap. I don't know how much that holiday budget hand soap cost, but I think it came from Walmart, so I'm assuming somewhere around the $5 marker, so that's where I put it. I had 1 perfume sampler. I usually take samples that I don't know a cost for, or that are just like gimme products, and attach a $3 price point to them. That has been what I've done every single year. And realizing that I have all these perfumes and that's the only sample that I went through last year, I decided to start doing Turn and Burn, which will, and in Turn and Burn, I'm going to be including 2 perfume samples. I have been on a mission to find my signature fragrance for years, and I'm definitely not going to do it if I only have 1 perfume sample per year that I'm going through. So there, and I believe that that's the only one that I went through, because fragrance isn't a thing for me. I had 1 body mist. This actually shocks me. I do think that I had more than 1 body mist, but the reason why I say that is because I typically use my body mist for like car scent. So this body mist was beautiful. It was like a real summery scent, and I just have just the one. And then I had 9 wallflower scents. So those are the plugins from Bath & Body Works that do their due diligence to make your room smell good. In my old house, we had 2 going all the time, and 1 that was kind of intermittent in my son's room. In this house, I definitely have 3 going all the time, and I'm trying to get my son to put 1 in his room because his room stinks. I do have a plethora of wallflowers, but there are 9 of them in there. The next graphic I have for you is like eyes. For eyes, I had 10 eyeliners that I went through, which is astounding to me because I did put black liquid liners on my no-buy list for last year. And to see that I went through 8 of those eyeliners were liquid eyeliners, it kind of shocks me a little bit, but one of them was brown, and then 4 of them, right? 5 of them were colored. That makes a little more sense to me. The ones in the first picture, the 3 colors at the top, the kind of like pale peachy, and then the jade, and then the kind of like chartreusey green, those are actually dual-ended. So I should have counted that as 6 eyeliners because I did deplete both sides of those dual ends. But in this graphic, they are 1 price point, so I only counted them as 1. But ultimately, I went through 11 liquid eyeliners because those are dual-ended. I went through 1 glitter eyeliner, which was an Urban Decay Heavy Metals eyeliner. That was a struggle bus and a half. And I ended up decluttering the rest of the heavy metal eyeliners that I had in my collection after going through that heavy metals eyeliner because I feel like obviously the consistency of it and the formulation of it had changed over the years. They had been in my collection for so long, and I just know after utilizing that through Project Pan, I just knew it wasn't going to be something that I was going to go back to, so I did end up decluttering the rest of them. I only went through one pencil eyeliner, which is discouraging because I put 2 pencil eyeliners into my Project Pan this year. And that one pencil eyeliner was the Smashbox Always On gel eyeliner in the shade Brood. It was a brown. 9 times out of 10 I am wearing a brown on my lower lash line if I am wearing an eyeliner on my lower lash line, so it doesn't surprise me. I also have one Bobbi Brown eyeshadow stick. I utilized this for eye primer. I loved it. So really excited that I got some use out of that, and know that I have a ton more of those eyeshadow sticks in my collection. I did end up utilizing 3 eye primers. The Alamar Peri Purito primer is not pictured, and that one I did utilize until I couldn't utilize it anymore. I did not love it. It was gross. I did finish off the NYX pigment primer and the NYX glitter primer. All 3 of those primers are tacky primers. So my regular eye primer, I didn't finish any one of those. Probably because of the Bobbi Brown shadow stick. I don't use a whole lot in eye primer. So, you know, way back when I curbed my spending on eye primer, knowing that I don't use much in eye primer. And currently I have just one NYX glitter primer in my collection. The tops keep breaking on me, which is discouraging. It makes me want to find a new one. If you guys know of a really good glitter primer, please let me know. I was also able to complete through Project Pan 4 liquid eyeshadows. I have never panned an eyeshadow, I don't think. There might have been one eyeshadow that I've panned when I was using a beigey color as a eyeshadow primer setting shade, which I don't do anymore. Really excited to have 4 liquid eyeshadows rolling out of my collection. These were 3 of the Stila Shimmer and Glows, which I actually quite like, and 1 of the Stila Glitter and Glows, which are not my favorite. My friend Sasha loves the Glitter and Glows. I am not a glitter fan, so I do not like the Glitter and Glows, but these were all minis. The 3 Shimmer and Glows came in a set for holiday like years ago. Finally getting them out of my collection feels good. And then the one pictured here that's the Glitter and Glow also came in a set of 3 minis during holiday time, and that's only one of the 3 that was in that collection, but really excited about that because that was a good chunk of money. Like, between eyeliners are expensive. Those are all high-end eyeliners. So we have the 3 Stila dual ended. We have the 1 Heavy Metals, and then on the second side, the NYX Epic Ink, I didn't love. I know that that is a favorite for a lot of people. I didn't love it. Then we have 2 of the 24/7 inks, which are the colored eyeliners from them with the ergonomic handles. I love the ergonomic handles. I should have picked different colors because I didn't love those colors. I found them also, though, to kind of not work very well really very quickly, so I probably wouldn't repurchase those. This is the second one of the Benefit They're Real precision eyelining pens that I have used. One was brown, one was black. I would repurchase that. I really like that. But my favorite is that silver one right there that I got in my Beautylish Lucky Bag last year. That is the Hindash one. I love that. I will repurchase that one eventually. Not yet, because I still have a ton of black eyeliners to get through, but I love that. This was a giant category for me, and ultimately in the grand scheme of Empties for my year. I also have a bunch of tools that I got rid of. You guys, this is not all the tools that I got rid of that I used up throughout the year, but almost every single one of these tools here is a broken tool. So these are the ones that I got rid of because they are broken. My daughter got some that I decluttered because they still work, but I just didn't like them. And then, of course, the sponges. I only use a sponge for, you know, 3 to 6 months before I toss it. These are disposable products in my humble opinion. Therefore, I do not spend $20 on a beauty blender. There is a beauty blender in this picture, but it's a gratis item. I get beauty blenders in gratis all the time. Keep forgetting to tell you what was gratis and what wasn't, but on my inventory spreadsheet with incoming and outgoing, it does list which items are gratis. Some of them lasted a long time before they broke. Like I think of in the one picture with the Real Techniques, like Celestial one there on the end, and the Urban Decay like finger brush on the other end. Like that finger brush was a $26 brush back in the day when I purchased it. I don't even think they have it anymore. And that finger brush should not have broke as soon. I guess it's been in my collection for a while, but I didn't use it all that much. So it's discouraging that it broke. There's another one in there that was an expensive brush. It's the Esom one. It's sitting. So there's the Real Techniques, the white one, and then I'll put a graphic in showing you with the arrow which one. It's an Esom like pencil brush. That one, the bristles went down into the ferrule and I couldn't get them out. Even if I wanted to, it would have never been the same anyways. That one was a brush that's been in my collection for about 7 years. So most of them lasted for a grip ton of time. So I'm not, I'm not mad at it. This is a price point that is kind of a guess, to be honest, for the most part. I know how much the sponges cost me, but the brushes, like, I know how much the Urban Decay one costs. I know how much the Esom one costs. I know how much some of them cost and some of them didn't. So I just kind of went, like, face brushes normally are about $8 to $10 a piece. So I just went on the 8 marker. Eye brushes are usually somewhere between $3 and $7 for the low end. So I went on that unless I knew the price of the brush. That is how I tallied them. And then I knew the price of the sponges. So I'm saying approximately $150 is on this picture. And that doesn't include the brushes that I decluttered to my daughter. This graphic has my blushes and my lip products on it. I was able to get through 2 blushes. One of them was a sample blush that came to me, but it was pretty full and it was in this container. So this is a pretty big container. I currently have the remnants of my primer in there. So I love that I can reuse the container. It was a glass container. It was pretty full. So I counted it into my inventory so it counts as an exit out of my inventory. And I gave it a rough cost based on how much product I got. I'm not sure that $8 would even do it justice. It's a Chanel blush for crying out loud, but that's what I gave myself credit for. And then the Pretty Vulgar blush, which I got in a BoxyCharm, which was amazing to complete. I am so proud of the work that I put into that blush. Then I have some lip products. So we had 3 lip liners. 2 of them are ColourPop lippy sticks. There's one ColourPop lippy stick that is not pictured, but you can see there is a Thrive Cosmetics lip liner in Gislon, and then there's the little ColourPop one down in the second picture. I had 7 lip glosses. So I had the Lunar Beauty lip gloss, which was amazing. I would repurchase this lip glosses in a heartbeat. I had a Pat McGrath lip gloss, which I find them to be nice, but I also find them to be a little bit thicker than I like my lip gloss to be. I had 4, one in the picture to the side and then 3 in the bigger picture, Clinique Pop Lip Splash lip glosses, which I don't think are a thing anymore, but those all came. I got 2 Clinique like gift sets for Christmas one year, and so therefore had like, I don't know, 8 of these little tiny Clinique Pop Splash lip glosses, and I've went through quite a few of them in the last couple of years, so 4 of them last year. I also had a NARS lip gloss. It was a gift, or I think it was a birthday gift from Sephora, so it was just a mini. It lasted a long time and it was beautiful and it made me want to purchase more, so Love that. I had one lip stain. It was the ABH lip stain in the shade Dusty Rose. Utilizing that made me realize that I hate the ABH lip stains. So I did declutter the other one that I had in my collection. But that one was gone. They just dry out my lips so bad. And then the lip serum is by Truly. It is a plumping serum, but it's not really a plumping serum. And I didn't really realize it was gone until I started doing my inventory and realized it sits up here, and I use it quite often and was using it quite often before I moved, but I didn't realize it was gone prior to starting to do my inventory this year. And then the last one is a lip scrub. It's a wish list lip scrub in Vanilla Bean. I probably wouldn't purchase that lip scrub. Again, that is a full size. All of them are full size except for those little like Clinique ones. The Pat McGrath is a travel size, and the NARS is a travel size. That wish lip scrub, it really felt too oily for me. Yes, it felt great on the skin. Yes, it tasted good. If that's a preface to you buying a lip scrub, it did taste good. I didn't find that it did a lot to make my lips feel exfoliated or good throughout the rest of the day when I used it. I just wouldn't repurchase it. It also like dripped of oil. Every time I used it, it was like a mess. So I won't repurchase that. I have lip scrubs I love more. The next one is about cleansers, so like brush cleansers and support items. So I use Cinema Secrets brush cleaner every single time I use my brushes. My brushes get cleaned by this, and then I do a deep clean, monthly or every other month for the brushes that I am using. So I had 2 full-size Cinema Secrets makeup brush cleansers. I had 2 full-size cleanser balms, one from Real Techniques and one from Ulta Beauty. I would buy the Ulta Beauty one over and over again. I did not feel like the Real Techniques one did a really great job of cleaning my sponges, which is what I use those for. So the Cinema Secrets is for my brushes. The balms are for my sponges. And then I also had some cotton swabs and some Shiseido cottons. Several years ago, I think it's 3 years ago at this point, I made a decision to no longer buy like single-use makeup items such as facial cottons or makeup wipes. So this was the last of the bags of cotton squares that I had bought prior to making that decision. I usually would go to TJ Maxx. I could get them at TJ Maxx and grab up like 2 or 3 of them at a time. I think I had 3 or 4 in my backups when I decided that I was no longer purchasing makeup wipes or facial cottons. And that was the last of it. So you haven't seen makeup wipes on my Empties this will be the first year that there won't be any makeup wipes on there because I had so much in backup that there was still some last year. The cotton swabs are a different story because I use them, my whole family uses them really. I use them for makeup application. My family, and we use them for, cleaning out your ears and anything else that you maybe need to do. There's an awful lot of dollars spent in hair care for this Empties. This is a large category for this Empties. If I am being 100% honest, most of my hair care comes in gratis. Like I am a field leader for Ulta Beauty. So I oversee business acumen for all things salon and services and boutiques. I get a lot of hair care and a lot of tools in gratis. I think the only things in this that I actually physically spent my own money on are those conditioner color depositing shampoos. The rest of it was gratis. So I have 2-liter bottles in here. The Bumble and Bumble thickening liter. Do you guys know how much that costs? Like I had to double take, and then I had to triple take, and then I had to go out of the app and then go back into the app to check to see that I was right. That is $103. Why? Holy crap. However, Bumble and Bumble is on the back bars of our salons. I think twice a year. Bumble and Bumble is an amazing product. They carry some of my favorite products, some of our stylist's favorite products. They're really good. This thickening shampoo, I gave it to my daughter who has categorically super thin strawberry blonde hair, and we were able to see a difference while she was using it, and I want to, purchase some more of that, but I just cannot even imagine spending that much money on it. I have a bunch of gratis. I'll have to go through and see if there's more. That was used prior to us leaving the old house. What I have found to be true is since leaving the old house, since sharing a bathroom with my kids, I'm not as in tune to what they are finishing up as far as hair products go. There is just the 2 color depositing shampoos that I have taken a picture of that ended up in my empties since moving to this house 7 months ago. So I know that there's more shampoo and conditioner that got used in this. I have to have a talk with my daughter and make sure that she makes sure that I get the bottles back at the end of the day, but we no longer share a bathroom. So I know that there's hair care missing from this. The Chi Ultra shampoo is a really great shampoo. I love that. That's also a liter bottle. The Fakai smells like Fruit Loops. I did use that in my own hair. Loved that, but mostly my kids used it. The 3 Caracolor conditioners, those are mine. I use them in my, vivid hair to get from service to service so that my hair stays bright and vibrant. Next to the one in the singular picture is another one. It's the Matrix Biolage color depositing shampoo, also in a shade of like violet, and that was good. That was decent. That was a travel size. And then the Rakuten Blondage I gave to my daughter to use, but I've used it as well. It's a really great shampoo and conditioner. And then the Hask argan shampoo of some sort. That was a gift. I can't remember where that came from. I think it was a gift in like a mystery box that somebody sent me. The 2 dry shampoos are mine. I use them. The Living Proof, I don't love Living Proof items. I feel like they smell like pepper, so I wouldn't repurchase that, but that's an expensive dry shampoo. The Chi one, the Fake and Wake and Fake, whatever, I like that one. It's really good, but yeah, almost $400 worth of shampoo and conditioner on this page, and I know that there's a ton missing. So everything that we've used since we moved into this house is missing from this picture, which is alarming. So the next one is skincare. $1,327.19 worth of skincare here. That's a lot of skincare. Again, I feel like there's some things that might be missing here. Either that or I need to do a real quick evaluation of my skincare. You'll see that there's only 1 sheet mask on here. I have a ton of sheet masks. So in my turn and burn project, I have a goal to use 2 sheet masks per month as well, because only having 1 is alarming to me. I used to use sheet masks all the time. I want to get them used up. I have never bought a sheet mask, but somehow have accumulated 800,000 of them. Not really, but a lot. They are on my plan to like barrel through this year, so hopefully next year we'll see more of them. You see the Clinique Step 2 in there a couple times. I do love this product. I use it every single day before my makeup application. I can tell the difference between when I do use it and when I don't. I have those 2 bottles there because I bought those to refill this guy. This guy is one that you can put your cloth onto the top of and pump. So I just continue to refill this guy. I also use these to refill my travel one because I go out of town for work all the time. I have Peter Thomas Roth face and eye patches in the one top picture. I wasn't a fan of those. Those did come in 2 different shapes, but there was like 3 different sections. So one for this eye, one for this eye, and then one for the middle of your forehead. I didn't love those patches. And my Peter Thomas Roth guide did give me a new version of patches to try. Most of these items, you guys, most of my skincare is gratis. The Glam Glow wasn't gratis. I did that actually in a FabFitFun, I do believe. And the LMS balm, I purchased that. The Pharmacy Clean Bee came in a FabFitFun as well. Everything else in that picture was gratis, I do believe. Hello? That was weird. Everything in the next picture down, so the Clinique Take the Day Off Balm, the NYX Makeup Remover, and the Korres Cleanser was also all gratis. I did not like the NYX Makeup Remover. I didn't like it. I don't typically like those kind of makeup removers. I keep them on my desk so that I can use them with my makeup erasers when I'm like taking off swatches and whatnot. That did take me a long time to get through. I think I got that in gratis like 4 years ago. The Stress Eye Relief from Dermalogica, I didn't feel like did anything. I wouldn't repurchase that. That was just a sample size, but a pretty hefty sample size. I do have it clocked at $18.20 for the amount of product that came in that, which is crazy sauce to me. Rakuten MD Cold Plasma. If I remember correctly, I did not love the way that smelled. So I tried to barrel through it as quickly as possible. So I used it everywhere. I used it everywhere but my face. The Peter Thomas Roth Water Drench, I did like that. I would probably repurchase that. The Sunday Riley products in the next picture, those were all gratis, but the other bottle in there, that pure collagen, came in an Ipsy, I do believe, so that wasn't gratis. I love some Sunday Riley products. I love their Good Genes. I love their CEO moisturizer. I did not love any of these products. The CEO Glow Oil, I felt like was just a facial oil I was putting on my face. I didn't feel like it did anything. The Luna, I could not. I mean, it was painstakingly almost impossible to get through that bottle. I had been working on that all year long because I hated the smell of it. And the other one was just a deluxe. Those were both full size. The other one was just travel size that, number one, didn't come with enough product. I used it for I think 3 weeks before it was completely gone, which for a daily serum, even a travel size, I feel like you should have more than 3 weeks worth of product in there. And I didn't love it. I don't feel like it did anything for my skin. So the two like scrubs at the top, one of them is Tula, one of them is Clinique. I didn't find that either one of those I liked a whole lot. The Tula one's a blackhead scrub, and I don't have blackheads, so that might be why I didn't see it do anything for me because I don't have blackheads. The other one, the 7-day scrub from Clinique, was a decent, great scrub that didn't react with my sensitivity, or my skin didn't react with in a way because it's sensitive, but I have used scrubs that I think do the same thing that are cheaper and or better, to be honest. And that last picture, the one at the far top, is the Peter Thomas Roth eye mask, like I said. The 111 Skin Nocturnal something moisturizer. That is $280 worth of moisturizer, and in my humble opinion, my door keeps opening. In my humble opinion, that is far too much money to spend on a moisturizer. It did not do anything miraculous or magical. In my humble opinion, there is no reason for it to be $300. I'm glad I did not spend that money. That came to me in an Ipsy. I just cannot even. I just cannot even. The other thing that came to me in an Ipsy is that LMS Marine Cream. Those two products were not products that came to me in gratis, nor something that I paid. I mean, I guess I paid for them because I was paying for Ipsy, but love the Marine Cream. I love LMS as a brand for the most part. I just don't love that balm cleanser. I would never repurchase that. That balm cleanser made my skin feel really greasy, and like I had to use like 2 or 3 rounds of other cleanser to get that like greasy feel off my skin. So I wouldn't repurchase that, but I do love the Marine Cream and would repurchase that. I just have a little tiny sample bottle of the Genifique serum. I love Genifique. I have a ton of Genifique. I did get this in gratis, but it was just like literally maybe 5 days worth of stuff. But I did use my regular bottle of Genifique to refill that sample size bottle of Genifique so that I had it on the road with me as well and didn't have to take the big bottle of Genifique. I love Genifique. It's so good. It just feels good. And I see a difference when I'm using it in my skin as well that I can't 100% pinpoint, but I love utilizing it. The Kiehl's eye cream, I don't know that I don't like, but I also don't know that I do. I don't remember, but this is on my old carpeting in my old house. So like I had this used up way prior to May. So I'm not sure if I don't remember because I had been using it for a long time prior to that point and it just was what it was or what. I think it was just an eye cream that was just an eye cream. If that makes any sense, it wasn't memorable. The Dermalogica Dynamic Recovery, wonderful moisturizer. That was a travel size. And then I have a Garnier SPF moisturizer in here as well. What is that called? The Garnier Serum Cream. It had SPF in it. It was moisturizing. I didn't love it. $1,327.19 worth of skincare products finding their way out of my collection, which I'm happy about. Most of it was gratis. There was only a few items that I purchased myself and some that came to me in Ipsy. Huge category, right? The next graphic is for body care, and for body care I have like my shave creams, my body scrubs, typically my soaps, anything like that. I only have one body soap on here. I mean, it's a big body soap, but it's also on my old carpet. So that tells me that maybe I'm not using soap enough or showering enough. I'm just kidding. I kid. That tells me I'm not doing a good job of saving all of my stuff. I have 3 of the Tree Hut body scrubs on here. I love Tree Hut body scrubs. They are amazing. I will repurchase them always. I also have 2 of the Tree Hut shave oils, which are newly found this year, and I won't shave with anything else. The only body soap that I have is that one by Whim. This is an Ulta Beauty product, and I love it, and it comes in a big like 16-ounce container. I love it. I will repurchase those. I think I've got one in my kids' bathroom right now. I would repurchase that. They're so good and they smell so good, and they don't like interact with the sensitivities of my skin either. So really like that. I hate Bonner's Fairy, which tells me that something happened to that because that should have been a picture on here, but whatever, we'll go with what's on here. I'm allergic to something in that. This was such a great welcoming change to the itch that Bonner's Fairy caused with my sensitive skin. And it's just such a cheap, it's like $16 for 16 ounces. It's crazy sauce. It's amazing. And then I have a Kula sunscreen spray. This I got in gratis and I used for one day before it was empty. And I understand that there's a lot of people in my family and I am not a small girl and I have to cover a lot of geography with that one Kula spray, but that is far too expensive. Yeah, that sunscreen is $28. I would not spend $28 a day during the summer to make sure that I'm SPF protected. I will find a cheaper version. I also have a Saint Tropez gradual tanning lotion, and I loved that. I have a ton of tanning sprays and things that I could use for self-tanning. I don't use them because they're not easy, and that was so easy to use. I loved that. It smelled good. The tan looked natural. It was beautiful. I would repurchase that in a heartbeat. That did come to me in gratis. All of the Tree Hut stuff I purchased myself. The Ulta Beauty body soap I purchased myself. So the Saint Tropez and the Kula were gratis. This is the last page, and this is just the stuff that I couldn't like bucket in with anything else above. And these tell me a couple things in my life have changed, I guess. Number 1, I only went through 4 setting sprays last year. Went through the 3 that are pictured and then an Hourglass setting spray, which I'm giving myself credit for because it broke and I did everything in my power to make sure that I got every bit of usage out of that component that I could. up to and including trying to figure out how to get it apart so I could use the rest of what was in there. That's a $49 setting spray, and the component should not break. The other setting sprays, the Airbrush Flawless Finish by Charlotte Tilbury, was something that came to me in my lucky bag. That is a travel size. The other two are full size. The Item Beauty was something that came to me in Ipsy, and the Morphe setting spray was gratis. The Hourglass was gratis. The other two were not gratis. I typically go through a lot more than 4 setting sprays. So something changed in me thinking that I need setting sprays, and probably weather. My skin is far less dry over here than it has been before. I mean, it's not greasy, but it's more normal now than I felt like it was in Eastern Washington, which is good, but I also am using setting spray far less, and I think I have like 12 in my backups. I do have an Ulta Beauty Deepening Drops in here. I like and made the decision a couple years ago to buy deepening and lightening drops, or, you know, color correctors for my foundations versus buying different foundations for the seasons. I made that decision a long time ago, so this deepening drop was just the first of many that I will probably go through in my lifetime. But they take forever to go through, honestly. You only need one drop most of the time to really change the foundation shade. So that one took me, I think, like a year to go through. The other thing that apparently changed in my life is that I stopped really paying attention to my brows, because I only have 5 full-size brow products in this picture, and that's all the 5 that I remember going through. So I think that this is a pretty accurate picture. The only thing that's not complete in that picture is that there's just a cap for the Benefit Gimme Brow Plus Volumizing Pencil that I did use through my project pan, and that's because the other piece is here. I kept it for the spoolie, but you guys can see that it's gone. There's also the Precisely My Brow in gray in there, the microfilling pen in there, and one 24-hour brow setter. Listen, this is something I use every single day, and if there's only one of those in there, I utilized that for far too long, and probably utilized it when there wasn't even product in it anymore, until I realized that it was coming out dry. There should be at least, you know, 2 or 3 of those in a year. I would say one of those typically lasts me about 4 months. So yeah, there should be at least 3. And then the Gimme Brow is not a product that I typically use. So the Morphe Continuous Mist was a gratis product, and the Hourglass that's not pictured was a gratis product. The volumizing pencil, the picture of just the cap on there, the 24-hour brow setter, and the microfilling pen, those were gratis. The rest of it I purchased, or came to me through an entity in which I interacted with. $129 in brow products, $107 in setting sprays. When I go through my Empties list of the other products, the products that don't show up on my Empties list for like skincare and stuff like that, things that are not my makeup, there is a grand total of 90 items and $2,290.04 worth of beauty empties that I accounted for in this whole year of Empties video. When it comes to makeup and makeup alone, I did empty 70 products. Those are 71, actually. There's one that I didn't put into my tracker, which is the Chanel sample, I think. So of those 71 products, 11 of them were mascara, 1 was a lash serum, 11 were primers, 4 foundations, 1 concealer, 10 eyeliners, but 3 of them were dual-ended, so 13 eyeliners, 3 eye primers, 4 liquid shadows, 1 shadow stick, 2 blushes, 3 lip liners, 7 lip glosses, 1 lip stain, 1 lip serum, 1 lip scrub, 5 brow products, 4 setting sprays, and 1 shade adjuster. I emptied a grand total of $1,578.41 in just makeup, which makes me feel so dang good, because y'all know, Like, I am a spender. I will haul in some makeup. In 2023, I have a spend total of $3,151.53 in makeup. Now, that spend total means that not necessarily that I spent that money myself, but that's the money for the cost of the products that I received in something other than gratis. Okay. The product total value though, so for the ones that I didn't purchase, like they were given to me as a gift or gratis, the value of what I brought into my collection was $6,654.91. So my value of products is a full $3,500 more than what was actually spent in makeup last year. With that said, I emptied over half of what was spent in makeup, or I guess approximately half of what was spent in makeup, and that makes me happy. You guys, that is such an amazing thing to think about because, and that's why I do these year of empties. I really want to know that what I am purchasing is actually getting used up in my collection. Now, while that $1,578 that I emptied this year wasn't spent this year, it wasn't part of that, whole spend in makeup. What I can say is that half of what I am spending every single year is also going out of my makeup collection. With that said, it brings me to like some of the like goals that I'm giving to myself for 2024. Number one, my makeup rehab. I cannot wait for you guys to watch. I have set up some pretty structured and strict rules for myself, and I am going to do diligence, try and get through it. Last year I did a good job, but somehow lost my mind in blushes towards the end of the year. I have a very strategic goal in mind for my spend and my empties number to come closer than that 50%. So at the end of 2024, when we do these makeup empties next year, I would like for more than 50% to be what I emptied versus what I spent in makeup. But overall, this year, I'm really happy with it. My goal coming into 2023, the goal that I had made for myself, I believe in the last video, was to bring no more than 35 new items that I purchased into my collection versus the products that I was emptying. So at the end of the day, I wanted whatever I brought into my collection and whatever I emptied from my collection to have no more than 35 points separating them. I purchased 107 items and I emptied 71. So I had a gap of 36 items. I think that that's a success. I mean, that is only one more than what my goal was. And that makes me first failure, right? But I'm happy with it. Like, it could have been so much worse. And everything I buy is on sale because, for the most part, because everything I buy is at Ulta Beauty and I get a discount. So that's also why the value is so much different than the actual cost that I paid for all the things. So the grand total of my beauty empties for the year of 2023, which includes all things hair care, skincare, body care, support items, and makeup, is $3,868.45. I'm pretty sure that's more than last year. So excited because I feel like every year my dollar amount increases. And this year, now that we're settled, we're in this house, and this is our year. Nothing's going to go awry. I can hone in on some of those higher ticketed items. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I always get nerdy and geeky with you guys during this time of year. We're gonna see my inventory coming up, and that's also a nerdy geeky moment. I really was happy to make these graphics for you and happy to come to you with all the things. I hope that you got some really great insight into my makeup usage. This year I'm gonna be tracking how many days I'm actually wearing makeup so we can quantify that cost into like a per day spend. I am going to focus real hard on some of the categories that I'm a little bit ashamed of in here. I have a lot of things in my collection that need to get used up. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, that you'll give it a thumbs up. What did you guys empty last year? How much did you guys empty last year? Do you even track it like I do? Not a whole lot of people do, but I would be interested to hear from you. So don't forget to hit me up down in the comment section if you are one of the geeky squad like me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you and yours are well, that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best you can, that you are all loving each other but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye friends.